All right, welcome in everybody. We all know the Sunday morning vibes are strong across the states here because everybody stayed in last night and did not have a fun time dressing up with all their friends going out. But there's money to be made. We already got the one game going on in the NFL, so we'll bring our Jags correspondent on to give him his thoughts on what he's seen so far. But powered and sponsored by the Wise Guys Diamond Club. Sunday morning QBs on Twitter. Hit the link up in the title if you want to jump over to the YouTube channel to be featured. We'll got Sosa, Spin, Goose, Katie, and maybe a few other analysts will be tapping in with us. The attendance isn't looking too great, but it is what it is. Money is to be made. Sosa, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. It's nothing like a whole bottle of Hennessy that'll get you right, man. I feel splendid. How about yourself? I feel great personally.
Seeing the board extra clear today. Spin, how you feeling?
Awesome.
Doing okay. I must be. I think I'm the only one who's going to be on here that didn't go out last night because I've been traveling for about the last week and a half. So it finally caught up to me last night and collapsed. But anyways, yeah, I'm back and ready to roll.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
Made some money betting on Jake Paul last night, man. Don't you just he's bro, listen, what I witnessed last night is like regarding the future, I don't want to be here in 25 years. Because they were cheering for Jake Paul like he was Jesus. I've never seen anything like it ever. It's so crazy to me. He sucks. I mean, he basically beat a senior citizen who's been retired for multiple years, and people are making it seem like like he beat prime Mike Tyson. They were people that really believe what they witnessed last night was something more than just a gambling event. Like there was no way he was going to lose the fight. He's like the sports book's best friend. He's paying these guys more money than they've made in the last decade to get in there and get their ass whooped for 8 rounds or whatever. So yeah, that's my review of yesterday. We got Trevor Lawrence throwing red zone picks, doing stupid shit. He apparently it doesn't matter what country he's in, he's going to do some stupid shit inside. It doesn't matter. Like it's just there's no international rule there. Shout out to Travis Etienne trying to ball and play like a real dog. But yeah, let's I'm
about to say today's slate. Lot of 2.5s, 1.5s, a lot of short spreads sitting out there. So we'll help you maneuver, let you know where the value is on that point. We appreciate everyone who tapped in yesterday to play with Goose, JD, Sam, and Roddy. We got Sam Ellinger and Malik Willis starting today. Might be a little bit of a college football day, but let's bring in the first analyst of the day. Bring in our man Goose. Outside flocking up already.
Yeah, man. We outside. I'm at the bar. I had to step outside for this. I didn't even want to be on this today because I should be watching the game. But Trevor Lawrence, first off, look, I get it. The NFL is turning into a passing league. It's first down. Just give ETN the ball. I don't know. I'm a big fan of running the rock. Trevor Lawrence, this is his second interception on the 1-yard line. He's not that good. Just run the ball. Man. So
just run the rock.
Yeah, I get it. So Doug Peterson really wants to install some confidence in Trevor Lawrence. I'll tell you what, install some confidence. Get him a T. Higgins kind of receiver instead of Zay Jones and Marvin Jones and Evan Ingram. Maybe if he had a deep threat, he wouldn't be all nervous and throwing interceptions on the one.
You know what? I'm gonna have a little bit of pushback for that, okay? Because when you went and got Kirk and when you went and got Zay Jones, you made it sound like you were shopping at Louis, right? Now you're telling me you got him at TJ Maxx, and I don't like that. Because you paid him.
You know me, man. I'm always positive.
And now it's well, we got him at TJ Maxx, bro. I'm not, it's not the best.
I'm broken, man. I'm sitting on the side of a bar. I'm sitting. I'm not even standing. I'm sitting on the side of a bar. I got a White Claw in my hand. It's 10 a.m. I'm broken, man.
Why? Because Rutgers didn't score yesterday?
Man, let me tell you something. I don't even want to go on a diversion, but just pay attention to this dude, Sam Brown, this running back for Rutgers. He's hurt for the rest of the year, but
hey,
I don't even want to talk about Rutgers.
Goose, true story. Goose, true story. Friday night, I'm flying back from Newark, and I noticed all these kids in this Rutgers stuff. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, why are they coming to Minnesota? Oh, that's right. It was the Rutgers cheer team.
Nice. Yeah.
It was the Rutgers cheer team. They had some they were energetic for 10 o'clock on a Friday night. So I guess that's why they're good at their jobs.
Cheer team, equipment managers, they fly commercial. I think at a lot of schools they don't fly. They fly private jet, or not private jet, charter. But Rutgers, we balling on a budget. They fly commercial.
Yeah. It was United Basic Economy at 10 o'clock on a Friday night. It was the same cheap shit that I flew.
Man,
well, you got a field goal.
Nah, I mean, I so I'm outside. I could hear the game a little. If the Jaguars go up 14-0, live bet the Broncos. You know what's going to come in the second half.
Field goal. They got 10. A field goal.
It's 10-0.
Okay, 10-0. I mean, Broncos probably play.
Oh man, that New Jersey reception.
Let's see. We'll bounce him out real quick. See if he can get the better connection. Get the points on the board, and he goes out.
We got to tell Goose to have his bar get stronger Wi-Fi. That signal should have reached out there.
Yeah, man. Y'all don't got the Tesla stuff? I'm shocked.
Get a different router.
You want to start getting through the games that we got on the slate today?
Yeah, we got our boy Matt just joined, Sebastian's dad. I mean, we can talk about his game because I didn't even have it in the ticker, but we can talk about his game first. Then we'll get to KD and Roddy. Give Roddy a couple minutes to just
Well, we don't got Matt's camera on, so we're gonna just bring Roddy right on. Keep the vibes high.
Roddy and KD.
What's up?
Head to head?
Hey, look.
Yeah, it's a head to head.
I'm at an undisclosed location right now, okay? I have not had any success picking from the Players Ball Podcast studios, so I had to come to an alternate location because we need to win this fucking game this week, bro. Oh my God, bro. We can't be 2-6, bro. What the fuck? God.
It'll only be one game out of the division, though.
One game out of the division lead.
Me and Spin have been absolutely miserable for the last 3 weeks. Okay, KD's been miserable for the last 30 decades, but me and Spin, actually know success. All right, so we're miserable, man. All right, agreed. Please win a fucking game, please.
KD, how we feeling? You don't got anything to push back against Roddy there?
Yo, what can I say, man? Facts are facts, yo. I mean, New Orleans still dog shit this year, but I can't say much as a Raiders fan. Yo, we made the playoffs last year for the first time since like how long? You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just hold my tongue on this, but I can tell you we're getting that dub tonight or this afternoon. So, and Andy Dalton go through a pick. You could chalk that one up. I know Saints here they're missing a couple of guys on both sides of the ball. So I think we should take advantage of that. We're gonna finally have like our full offense with Waller coming back since he got hurt week 2, and Derek Carr's been playing better since then. Josh Jacobs, he running the rock. He like top 3 running back so far.
Last 3 weeks.
Last 3 weeks. Yeah, he's been killing it. So I think everything should work out. So we'll see how it goes. But you give me Max Crosby on the sack too.
I like it.
Roddy, how are the vibes that Dalton keeps beating out our boy Jameis?
I mean, and shout out to our guy Nick Underhill. He was on the Players Ball podcast. He gives us all the good information on the Saints. They decided to go with Andy. Apparently, he's not 100% Jameis, but I guess Andy's been, like you said, keeping the vibes high. The players like him. He's a good decision maker other than what he did on Thursday night, of course.
Nothing like 3 picks, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah, nothing like a fucking back-to-back pick six. But
on back-to-back passes.
yeah, even better.
If anybody was wondering when the last time that happened was, Colin Kaepernick was the last guy to do that. I know people. I know on like the regular TV, they're not allowed to talk about him, but he was the last guy to do it. And as a Niner fan, I'm allowed to bring it up because I was there through the good times too.
No, that's what I was about to say. You got into specifics because you're passing the pain from that on to me, and I don't appreciate that.
It's okay, man.
I don't appreciate.
My guess would have been Matt Schwab.
I would have said Matt Schaub or
Matt Schaub did it 4 consecutive games. You can do it back-to-back passes. And the funniest part was when he did it against Seattle. I don't know if I remember this like it was yesterday. He threw one to Richard Sherman. He threw a pass towards Richard Sherman, which Richard Sherman hit him in his hands. He dropped it. And then 2 plays later, he got the pick 6 for the game. Unbelievable. It was one of the funniest. He was trying to give it up that day. He didn't.
Oh, Lord Jesus, man. Look, I'm praying to the gods that we do not have this difficult of a game because I'm telling you, bro, like, we're a half game out of first place, bro. We just need to fucking win. That's all. I'm not putting on the stupid mask.
Everybody's a half game out of first in the South.
I know.
That's how bad we are this year.
And I'm not about to put on the stupid mask. I'm not about to say we robbing a bank. I just want to win, bro. Okay? I understand the Raiders have been, not probably having the season that they want to have this year, but I think they're still a formidable team. Obviously, Devontae Adams, Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, like KD said, I think he's going to have a big game today. Just the Saints' rush defense has been very it hasn't been the same. And, I like the way he ran last week. He runs hard. Even though we went to Alabama, I think he's a good player. So,
my bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I saw Charles, he in the chat, like, yo, Jacobs, he's trying to get paid too. Like, he's on the last year of his contract.
Mm-hmm.
We read up on Waller, read up on Renfro. I thought we would have just, give Jacobs, give him the bread, but I guess management want to see what he can really do. I mean, I know he's been having a couple of injuries the past couple of seasons, but like more or less, you look at the numbers, like he's been more or less like doing his thing. So he's trying to get that contract at the end of this season. So he up to now, he running the ball. He's up there with your Chubb, and who would be another one who's been running the wall well, like Chubb. Anyways, he top 3. I can't name you the third one, but like he's top 3.
Saquon.
Oh yeah, Saquon Ball. Yeah, Saquon Ball.
He up there though. Fuck it.
Yeah, Saquon Ball. So yeah, man, that's my take on that. And like I said, it's the first time like the offense since week 2 we're gonna be like a full offense, and it's gotten better since then. I think now the Derek Carr is getting into McDaniel's like scheme, and he's coaching a bit better. He's running some better plays, so we're gonna just see how it's gonna work out. And like the games that we've been losing, it's just like like the KC game. I find like the refs call some BS calls, but the game is the game, right? The Arizona game pissed that one away. You're up 20 and he's, blow a lead. But in the KC game, you're up 17. You shouldn't blow a lead, right? You shouldn't blow 17 points, even though the refs may be working against you or calling back calls. But it is what it is. So, like, the losses that we've been had, they've been very close. So, like, instead of 2-4, we could have been, 5-1, 6-0, whatever, what the case is. So,
yeah, this one opened up as a pick'em. It's been bet up to Raiders -1. You got 74% of cash, 73% of tickets, all on the Raiders. 68,079 total bets. That actually matches pretty well for me. I'm probably not going to touch much in the spread or in total on this one. From a player prop perspective, I think you can look at anything Josh Jacobs. The man is just absolutely on fire.
Right, the hot hand.
I don't know why you wouldn't. The other thing is, he was limited in practice earlier this week, but he practiced fully on Friday. The limitation was just a rest day, which I believe it's so that they can load him up for 20-plus touches. So I think that if you can look at yards, you can look at carries, you can look at pretty much anything you want. The other thing with that is that Devontae Adams is going to play. He did miss 2 days of practice with what was described as a very nasty flu bug. Now, he was limited yesterday, but I guess he's still not 100%, so they're probably going to be giving him some IV fluids. I don't know if it'll slow him down too much, but the reason why I say that is in conjunction with it's probably just more of a reason to give Jacobs the ball.
And just really quick, I think everybody. And listen, I'm very high on this Raiders team. I have been all season. I will be the rest of the year. I think everyone kind of expected more early, right? Unlike in Denver, where it's looking like they really suck. The Raiders haven't sucked. They've been very close to winning all of their games, and they one play here, 2 plays there, and we're talking about different outcomes in every single game they've played, except for last week where they were actually somewhat dominant. I think that at the beginning of the season we were talking about fitting a square into a circle, right? Like it's Derek Carr doesn't fit, and that's not the case. It's a matter of in the structure of the offense. The plays are there to be made. It's just sometimes you have to take the layups. You have to not worry about trying to make the over-the-top play. And the one thing about Tom, and I have to reference Tom Brady because he played in that system for 15 years, right? Tom Brady always had a good defense, a great running game. Every single time he actually won in New England. And I think that once you've seen it, once they've committed to the run, because it was the O-line's not good. Well, obviously the O-line is gelling, and Jacobs is doing his thing. I really do like this Raiders team. I think that they're going to be right there at the end as far as contending for a playoff spot because the talent is there. I think the defense has played a lot better than people think because what they do is they make the other team nickel and dime you down the field. And progressively, have to make their defense also makes you take the layups. So by Thanksgiving, I think we'll be talking about this Raider team as a legit playoff team. Everyone talks about the early records. Remember, 14 of the 16 teams in the NFC are 3-4 or better, which means they're half a game out of a playoff spot. That's the entire conference. It's the same
except for us.
It's the same in the AFC.
Yeah, we know.
we know, right?
This guy, man. This guy.
We know, like, don't gotta show that in our face.
Eagles fans, man, I'm telling you.
I hate these guys, man. I swear.
Philly fans, you win one World Series game. Look at
one World. You know what I'm saying? They get one championship in Minnesota that nobody really even attended.
Jesus, man. But look, I like what Sosa was saying, and I'm gonna go because I know I'm on the show because I'm supposed to give you something to gamble on. That's the whole purpose. I'm going Chris Olave over 5.5 receptions. And I've took it probably in every single game he's played this year. Obviously, then not the first game, but pretty much every game reception wise, especially with Andy, at quarterback. I think he is the guy who's going to take the layup consistently. He's not like Jameis, who he's really trying to stretch the field at every single opportunity. So I'm taking Olave receptions until he sees an elite DB. And, the Raiders secondary is okay, but it's not elite, or they don't have one elite guy. So I'm taking Olave until the wheels fall off, bro. Like until he sees a shutdown corner. And I'm trying to think of the schedule in my head. I don't think he sees one for a while. So I'm doing that. 5.5 receptions plus 105. Lock it in.
I like that. Just to piggyback on that, like I mentioned at the beginning of the segment, I like Max Crosby to record a sack. It's at minus 145 on I use Bet365 as the book, and then I also like a Dalton to throw a pick, so over 0.5.
Love it, man.
I really think this game comes down to, and this is an easy narrative game for both of the coaches to change it around for this season and try to get it back on the right track. I just think the Saints are just dealing with too many injuries, and especially in the secondary depth at this point is going to be their biggest concern, and that's something with Adams coming in. Let's see how that goes because we're talking about the run with Jacobs. I don't think it's sustainable what he's currently doing. And as someone who relies on him for my fantasy team, I just think not the wheels are going to come off, but at some point, the defense and the line of the Saints can stop the run. So that's what I'm saying. I think they're going to load the box there and force Carr to beat them with their arm today. I honestly think that's what it is. Don't let Jacobs and make the line show its weakness. I'm not trying to pick a winner. I think some coach is going to make a dickhead move at the end of the game and cost it, but
please not mine. Please not mine. Please not mine.
Don't forget, Dennis Allen used to coach us, so he's probably trying to he got that little monkey on his back for being the old Raiders coach. He might want to.
That's what I said.
Dennis
Dennis Allen revenge game.
My play of the day, my play in the game is this. I like Hunter Renfrow over 4.5 yards receiving. I like his matchups today against this secondary. Listen, I know people were high on this defense. The defense has not performed at any rate that you would expect them at all.
Injuries.
I like Renfrow over 40.5, and I like Renfrow to sit a touchdown down at plus 300. I love the matchups. Obviously, they're saying Waller is going to test his hamstring out before the game. I don't think they would have him testing shit out if he wasn't good to go.
He's gonna play facts.
I think listen, you don't put him out there. Everyone knows, like that's how the NFL works. You don't put players out there unless they're 100%, or unless you're the Cincinnati Bengals and you want a stat pad. You want a stat pad.
Yeah, that was crazy, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yo,
no is in the game in the second half.
My parlay with that.
But let's make sure that our 21-year-old generational receiver, gets those extra 50 yards and a touchdown, because
they took a note out of the Chargers playbook.
I mean, the only time I ever seen Joe Burrow run up the score was in college and against shit defense with shit defenses in the NFL where everybody's hurt. But that's another story for another day.
I mean, look, they have to have a humiliation king, bro. They have to have a humiliation king. Because, first of all, you let your quarterback die in his first real season, and now you're gonna let your star wide receiver's hip fall off.
Look, bro, they're talking about the funniest thing is this: he's got a torn labrum and a hairline fracture in his hip. He'll be back in 3 weeks, but that's like a 2-month injury.
Yeah,
out of your mind. Back in 3 weeks. All right,
you're generous with you're generous with 2. That's like
we're not putting him on IR. Okay, fine. Just let him go out there and. So, shout out to Zach Taylor, dickhead of the year.
Yeah, I hear that.
Cincinnati.
But Katie, Roddy, we appreciate both of you making the time to tap in today. We hope you guys have a wonderful, messy matchup. And Roddy, keep taking the L's because we need that draft pick to be higher.
I hold it down.
We gotta talk.
Wait, you want to yell something, Roddy, real quick? I did that too fast. Time to go rapid fire. We got, 5 games that we want to give you some quick thoughts, some best bets.
We got to bring Matt in really quick, simply because this Matt, put your camera on, bro. We got to bring him in. Here's why. Arthur Smith is a friend of the show. He's my favorite coach in all of football. Listen, the Atlanta Falcons win today. They have the outright lead in the NFC South, which they have right now, and Nobody had that on their bingo card at the beginning of the season, except for the people that know about Arthur Smith and understand how much of an evil genius he really is. So I just want to get Matt in here really quick before we go rapid fire. Matt, you're on top of the world. You're 8 weeks in first place in the division. It's got to be a great feeling. I would suppose. I would like to think that you did not believe you'd be in this situation right now.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
No, didn't think we would be here, but I don't know how much longer we'll be here either.
Enjoy it while it lasts, though. That's why
exactly. Exactly. Listen, with all the injuries, Cincinnati just kind of took it to us, but I think that just kind of proves how good Cincinnati is. I think we're just we may be the better of the bad teams, but I don't think we're like the better of the good or average teams, if that makes sense. Carolina, they looked okay, but at the same time, like Mike Evans dropped a wide open pass for a touchdown. Like if he catches that, like that changes the whole narrative of the game.
How you think Smith feels about that?
Yeah, like that game was weird. Like the game was weird the whole entire time. I mean, PJ Walker now they're going to crown him. They're going to crown him as the best quarterback in the NFC South right now. So we'll see how it happens. DJ Moore, I guess he's starting to kind of come into his own. I forgot he even played for Carolina, to be honest with you. I think he still wants out at the end of the year, no matter what, just how they treated him. But the one thing I am looking at is Kyle Pitts. The Carolina Panthers are 26 ranked against tight ends. Who else are you going to throw to at this point? Especially with this pass rush of Carolina getting after him. I don't think the Panthers pass defense is all that cracked up to be. So I could see Kyle Pitts going off for a big game. Pound the rock. That's what both teams are going to do. It's going to be a very, very boring game. I'm not even looking at the over under because, it could be one of those, someone fumbles, someone picks it up for a touchdown, or it could be a pick six. I don't know where the pick six is coming from. It could either come from us, can come from Carolina. These are two bad offenses. Obviously, it's leaning towards Carolina because their defense is better, but at the same time, Carolina has like the best first half defense, but I think that's just because they're out playing hard, and then in the second half they kind of crumble because their offense can't put any points up. But this is the same Carolina Panthers defense that gave up what was that, like 28 to Jimmy G in that San Francisco offense before Christian McCaffrey came in. So who knows? This NFL season has been very weird. It's kind of hard to get a good read on some of these teams. I would give it a couple of weeks before I start really throwing some big money down.
Absolutely. But yeah, for this one, I don't really have too much. Like I said, I just wanted to give the Falcons some level of love. I mean, Arthur Smith, former offensive lineman, will never get fired. Top 5 coach in football, whether his team wins or loses. He can motivate anyone to do anything. I mean, I don't know what he tells these dudes before they go out there, but they are willing to kill for him. And it's beautiful to see. They're going to be a good football team here very soon, whether it's this year at the end where they sneak into the playoffs because the division is so ass, or next year when they actually get the franchise quarterback in, because one way or the next, they're either going to pay a quarterback or they're going to draft a quarterback, or they're going to give Ritter some level of run towards the end of the season to see what they got with him. And if that's not the case, they go all in for a quarterback in the offseason. I think that's what Arthur Smith is expecting, especially with them getting Ridley back next year. But
yeah, I mean, and also keep in mind we are we set record highs with this dead cap stuff. We're losing a lot of next year we're going to gain a lot of cap back. So depending on how this team finishes, we may just say we just need to invest in the defense and pay a couple of premier players in free agency and just kind of run it back. But it all depends on how we finish at the end of the year. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. For me, for this one. The one that I'm really looking at is all things DJ Moore. So he's at 5.5 right now, over 5.5 receptions right now on DraftKings at even money. I would for sure look at that one. Really, there's no other option here now that McCaffrey and Robbie Anderson are both gone. And in his first game without either one of them, he had a 45% target share, which is insane. That he turned in. He had 7 catches, 69 yards, and a touchdown. And the Falcons right now rank last in adjusted fantasy points allowed to wide receivers. And as I think as Sebastian's dad mentioned earlier, they'll be down their top 2 cornerbacks. So there's just a high upside here to work with DJ Moore. So I would look at anything with him with yards, or the receptions I like more just because it's that even money.
Is it finally Terrence Marshall time?
To get on
it's
the
never
field,
Terrace Marshall time.
to get on the field, maybe.
It is never Terrace Marshall time. The sun don't ever even shine in that direction.
I'm pretty sure Matt froze. Unless
I got no plays. I got no plays. Like I said, I just wanted to shout out. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the Atlanta Falcons. We're high on them at the beginning of the year. I'm a big Arthur Smith fan. Great football coach. And that's it. We go up from there. So,
do you think one last question on the Falcons, and then we'll wrap it up? The backfield situation when Patterson comes back, if it's next week, the week after, how do you see that shaping out? Because you got Algier, you have Huntley, who doesn't seem to get the rock on the goal line, which is where he's most effective. Give us your quick thoughts on this, and then we'll let you bounce.
I mean, you got to remember. I mean, we still have Williams that is out as well. He's been out pretty much the whole year so far. So I think it's just running back by committee. Whoever has the hot hand, you go with. Similar like baseball. If your pitcher is going off, you leave him in there. If not, you look for a change of course and you start the next guy in. I mean, obviously, Algier is going to be eventually the future as far as the running back goes. I don't think he's going to be that workhorse, but he's definitely going to be featured in the offense more. But look at Avery Williams as well. He was a cornerback turned wide receiver, and he's getting a lot of touches. I mean, he's kind of like our gadget guy. And Arthur Smith likes to kind of just use like weird niches. it feels like a basketball team where if you're good at one thing, he's going to utilize you, and that's why that's what we're starting to see a little bit more with that Arthur Smith offense.
Well, we appreciate you. Make sure you're tapped in with Matt on Twitter. We appreciate you. We'll see you next week. All right, quick hits times. We'll kind of go calling the shot style, our new NBA show. Make sure you're tapped in with us there Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We give you the NBA best bets. But let's start it off with the game everyone's dying to talk about. Fins, Lions, Sosa. Quick hits, plays. What do you like here?
Raheem Mostert move for me. I think that McDaniel's done a very good job of like limiting his carries. I know everybody's like, why don't they just give him the ball? Listen, first of all, you run the ball on 3rd and 4th down with the starter. Last week, he ran it with the fucking backup, didn't get the first down, didn't even think to throw it to Tyreek Hill on 3rd and 4th and 3. I think it's a Raheem Mostert game. Detroit's defense obviously performed a little bit better last week against Dallas. I think part of that, though, was a bit of rust from the starting quarterback for Dallas. I don't think that Dak was just 100% with the synergy down yet. You know what I mean? He first came back from injury, still trying to get a feel for things. Obviously, they walked out of there the victor. The defense played great. And Detroit, obviously, they have a lot to work on defensively. You know, entering the bye, I think they were historically the worst defense we've seen in 25 years. They were really, really fucking bad. And then, you know, they got put on the hub by New England. So I'm on Raheem Mostert today. I like him anytime touchdown at -125. It's still playable. I think everybody and their mother is going to be on Tyreek's catches. I mean, how could you not? They throw him the ball 55 fucking times a game, it feels like. So yeah, I like Tyreek's catches and yards, and I love Raheem Mostert anytime touchdown. I think I like Raheem's yards as well. They're at 40. Hold on, let me get the number. They're at 69.5 actually. But like I said, I like him to go 70 plus, 80 plus. The offensive line can dominate this defensive line. So, and I also think, I like the cheetah to go for 100. I like his yards, catches. Just he's unguardable. Let's be honest here. It don't matter who's throwing on the ball. You get him to him in space, he can't be guarded. Spin thoughts. You're on mute. You're muted.
This is definitely a game to look at DFS for. I'm not even going to try to get into all the possible combinations because there's a ton. Lions obviously struggle very much against the pass. Miami actually struggles against the pass too, bottom 3rd. So the over-under, the total on this one right now is open at 50. It's been bet up to 52. There's a ton of bets are split almost evenly, but the huge cash influx on the over, but it's only gone up 2 points. I still don't mind the over 52 on this one. I like that. I like the first half over. I think that you're going to see some fireworks in this game. So both teams have either an average or worse defense, and both teams can put up points. So those would be my takes on this one. But yeah, there's not enough time to get into all the DFS combinations from this game. Just look to stack the shit out of that one.
Yep, let's hope that Sun God can finally have a good and productive game back. He had the bye, he had the injury, he got knocked out early last week, so hopefully we get to see him back on the field because he was setting records to begin the season, and then he just can't stay on the field at this point. And then on the other side, kind of seems Tua's looking for Gesicki a lot more recently. Maybe that's because he's trying to play it smarter, not try to extend it more. But in this past 4 games, he's gotten at least 4 targets, which at the beginning of the season, he wasn't seeing the rock whatsoever.
It's because McDaniel's finally starting to realize that you can't duplicate George fucking Kittle. It's only one of them. You can't just ask a guy who's a slot receiver, really, to just go out there and try to block 40 times a game and not throw him the ball. Gesicki is not an inline blocker. He's a good tight end. He's a good receiving tight end. And I think that really was the issue to start the season. I think that McDaniel was just trying to, run his system and use him the way that he would use George Kittle, and that's not effective for him.
Well, and actually, Gesicki isn't even really a tight end. I mean, he's more of like a big wide receiver. So yeah, I totally agree with that.
All right, let's get to the Vikings versus the Cardinals. Everyone's favorite joke. The new Call of Duty came out this weekend, so supposedly you just fade Kyler Murray if a new update or the new game comes out because spending a little too much time. But on another podcast, Travis Kelce was saying that him, Mahomes, Juju, and MVS were playing Warzone, and that was the reason for their dub this past weekend because of the good vibes, the good off the field chemistry that they got going together. So you can spin it whatever way. Sosa, no more video game talk. What do you like here?
We're going to Kyler Murray anytime touchdown, plus 195. Mobile quarterbacks give this defense fits against Minnesota. I know Minnesota only has one loss on the board. They're probably the least spoken about team as far as being elite in the league. I mean, their only losses come to the Eagles. They've been relatively great against everyone else. I mean, the schedule's not crazy, but neither's the Eagles' schedule. Hate to break it to you. I mean, you probably know that though. You're not delusional like some of the dudes on Fifth and Broad. But I like anytime touchdown from Kyler Murray at plus 195. That's my favorite play. And I also think that this is an Adam Thielen game. I think Thielen holds value, yards and catches. Arizona's secondary's played surprisingly well. Brian Murphy's been really good. They haven't I forget the other guy's name, but they've been pretty good. I can't lie. So if we're looking at that, like I said, I like Thielen today. I think everybody's expecting Jefferson to go crazy, and I think Thielen will be the guy out of the receiving core. I bet him to get a touchdown at plus 155 also. Regardless of how many catches or targets he gets when they get in the red zone, Adam Thielen is still that guy. Don't really care what anyone says, respectfully. Spin.
Overspot again for me too. You talked about it with the Cardinals struggle or the Vikings struggling with mobile quarterbacks. The closest example to that was the last one they played Chicago. Justin Fields actually, kind of lit them up. So that was a high scoring game. Cardinals pass defense still very, very subpar. I think you can look at Jefferson
twice.
What's that?
Jalen Hurts scored twice on the ground against them.
Yep. I think that you can look at Jefferson. I think there's probably more value in Irv Smith's props for either receptions or touchdowns. Cardinals ranked bottom third in the league in tight end coverage and fantasy points allowed to tight ends. And the on this one did open at 47.5. It's been bet up to 48.5. 53% of the cash and 81% of the tickets are all in the over. I still think there's value there. If it goes any higher than 49, we wouldn't touch it, but I think that you can put small bet on the over as well. That's what I got.
Yep. Next one, divisional matchup. Guess he's technically not a rookie QB anymore, but Bill always gives the young guys fits, but looks like nothing can stop the Jets at this point. And now you have what Bill hates. Too much controversy in his locker room with the Zappy versus Mac Jones. Last thing he needs going on with his team. Sosa, let's hear it, because I know you love these three quarterbacks playing today with Wilson, Zappy, and Mac. So
listen, again, remember, when you win, it don't matter who plays quarterback. San Francisco proves that, right? Like our quarterback's a walk-in trash can, but they find ways to win with them. Listen, I like what the Jets had going on. Losing Breece Hall to me is just an absolute heartbreaker. He was clear-cut offensive rookie of the year, dominant, just absolutely dominant out of the backfield, catching the ball out of the, running, just playing great football. Listen, I will say the defense for the Jets is legit, no question. Quinnen finally has a little bit of edge help. He's looking like the superstar we all expected him to be out of Alabama. Quinnen Williams is looking great. Sauce Gardner looking like a star, no question. Superstar possibly. Might be in the running for defensive rookie of the year. I think he's right there. He's having a great season. I say all that to say is I'm hammering the Patriots today. I think the Patriots defense will give Zach Wilson fits. As long as they don't turn over the ball, the Patriots win this game, touchdown plus. I don't believe in Zach Wilson. And I'm not going to. I don't care how many games they win or how many games they beat inferior quarterbacks and inferior teams. Listen, they beat Green Bay. Outside of that, I don't have any of their other wins as quality wins. That's just me though. And Green Bay might not even be a quality win because they look like they're dog shit. So
too much shrooms.
Yeah, I like the Jacoby Myers move, but again, for me, it's it's a Patriots spot for me. I like the Patriots here. They've dominated this team, and I think it just continues. If the Jets win today, we're talking about culture change, I guess. Because again, at some point, right, you're going to have to give a team credit. You're going to be like, okay, this team's winning. They're actually good. Just like when the Browns were good a couple of years ago, we were like, and then they won the division. You're like, okay, maybe they're all right? Like maybe they're okay. So same goes for the Jets. No move here. I'm on the Patriots to win and cover. That's my only bet in this one.
Yeah, this is a pretty easy Patriot spot for me. Since 2003, Bill Belichick. Now, granted, many of these teams were with Tom Brady. I will admit that, but this is also Bill Belichick. After a loss since 2003, Belichick has the best ATS percentage in the NFL by a ton. 52, 26, and 1, 66.7% cover percentage. The next closest one is 60% with Seattle and Pete Carroll. So when you look at that, yes, you can say they had some good teams, but after that, then you get a bunch of teams that have had one thing in common: great coaching. So the Patriots were absolutely embarrassed on Monday night with Chicago. So you factor that into place. Yeah, but Belichick always has them ready against this team in 4 division games. I personally think that the Patriots could end up winning by double digits. I really do.
Likewise, I really do. I do too.
All right, everyone's favorite team. I mean, I don't know why you put this one on here. So it's a double-digit spread. You really think Mitch or whoever the hell, Kenny, can be the one that's the one that finally puts the nail in the Eagles' coffin coming off the bye week?
No. You kidding me? Like, come on, man. The Eagles, most talented team in football. I have no problem admitting it. Top to bottom, the secondary is amazing. Y'all just went and got another defensive lineman to add to the rotation who's not washed up. He has no drip, though. He can't dress at all. But again, man, this Philly team's absolutely loaded. They have the best corner duo in football with Bradbury and Slay. Gardner Johnson's going to get paid like a safety. He's going to get his money. Defensive line loaded, offensive line loaded. They got 2 number 1 receivers. They have a tight end that's very athletic, even though he got knocked the fuck out in his hometown. I'll never let him live that down. You don't get.
Well, Goddard's whole thing is they're not just using him.
I don't respect it. Sorry.
Goddard's biggest thing is they're using him outside the numbers now. Previously to this season, he was everything over the middle, and they never let him run near the sideline. That's completely opened up the offense. And sure, bringing in A.J. Brown definitely helps Smitty out that point. But I don't see how the Steelers get 21 points here. As simple as that, unless Najee decides he's going to go crazy today. He's the only one that I can see that could keep them in here if the Steelers just do the time of possession, just try to milk the clock here, because we've seen with Kenny and Mitch so far, regardless of the situation, regardless of the opponent, they're trying to turn over the ball.
Yeah, I have no positives just to talk about this quarterback situation in Pittsburgh. I don't think Kenny Pickett is good. I was clear about that. I think that we saw him play last year, and if you follow college football, he had arguably the best receiver in the country. And he's at USC now doing the same thing. I think Jordan Addison really amplified the numbers that Kenny Pickett was able to put up last year. And I think that we people like the casual football fan equated his numbers to him being in his final year in the system and all that other bullshit. But the truth is, I do not think he has elite arm strength. I do not think that he fits playing in the city of Pittsburgh long term in the NFL. Maybe in college, cool, but I don't even think that Kenny is a legit NFL quarterback. I really do not. I do not consider Kenny Pickett a starter in this league, and I don't think he's shown us anything to believe that. I think that Mike Tomlin's doing a very good job of trying to coach him up and trying to make sure that he doesn't make decisions. But remember, you can put a player out there. You can't make decisions for him on the field. So that's my thing. Listen, it's a Jalen Hurts to score a touchdown. Yes, I like it. A.J. Brown to score a touchdown. I like that too. This is a super talented team versus a team that's trying to find their way to hold down some level of respectability for when TJ Watt comes back. there's nothing about this Pittsburgh team for me that tells me that they're in any shape to contend in this one, respectfully. Yeah, man.
Kenny shows us today. Maybe they come out sleepy off the bye.
3 or 4 picks. He gonna show us today.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave this one, to be honest. The only one that I even kind of looked at was Pickens over 40.5 receiving yards, just because he gets targeted so much. But this is probably one that I'm just gonna pass on.
Well, and Spin, let's wrap it up. Last game that we got here. We always got to make Sosa talk last about his squad. What do you like here?
Oh no, go ahead, Sosa.
No,
Go ahead.
No. He said.
All right. The one that I really, really like for this one is there's not actually, I don't even know if there's a prop out for it yet, but Van Jefferson over receiving yards. So he's been he's been out since August with knee surgery. However, the team did not bring him back on purpose until he was ready to play his normal full workload. Jefferson is the deep threat that the Rams have just not had this year. The guy, he had a huge ADOT last year, huge yards per reception. So I think that you can use him in DFS. I think that you can use him in a variety of spots this week. I really, really like, I would take his yards because it's probably going to be in the 20s, I would think. But I think that you can take really any piece of that. So I'm waiting for the props to be released until he's officially been declared active. And I'm looking at Van Jefferson.
Would you start him or Allen Robinson if you have the two
I would
of them
start
on your fantasy team?
I would start Van Jefferson by far. So last season when he was healthy, Jefferson, he had an 80% snap rate and a 15% target share. So you factor that into this offense, especially with Allen Robinson has been struggling this year, that if his yards are under 30, I'm taking it for sure. If it's up to 35, I'll probably still take it for a little bit less.
Yeah, because they said he's projected to get about the 90% of the snaps because exactly what you said. They didn't rush him back. Maybe that makes Robinson open up more because what's that guy's name? Ben Swarnick or whatever was trying to work in that.
Moronic.
Yeah, was trying to work in that role that Van Jefferson was
trying. Trying
So,
is the key word.
Yeah.
Thing is, he's just sneaky athletic. Van Jefferson's an athlete.
No, that's all I was just
Coach's
trying to say.
kid,
Maybe that makes
loves the
Robinson's
game.
role
Yeah,
easier
works
on the
hard.
squad. But Sosa, what do you like here?
Man, listen, I like the Niners. No Debo, tough matchup without him. But as far as the regular season goes, we've dominated McVay. I think another week of reps in practice for McCaffrey. He should perform well. So yeah, I like us. I think McCaffrey assumes the Debo role. I mean, what's crazy is that like McCaffrey in reality is just the white version of Debo. I mean, he does the exact same things. You hand him the ball off out the backfield. He can run routes like a receiver. You can put him in the slot. You can play him all over the field. It's clear and obvious. So yeah, I'm rocking with us, and +1 on the money line, whatever y'all want to, whichever one y'all want to go with. I don't believe in anything that I don't believe in anything Rams wise against us. Not in the regular season at all. No, because they've shown us, exceedingly that it's not what they want. Yeah, that's all. Like I said, I'm not over here trying to tell, I'm not going to give you a bunch of player props because I don't know who the fuck is going to get the ball for us. I don't know how Kyle has that plan. I do know that Jimmy Garoppolo will probably throw a pick because he fucking sucks. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I don't know what else.
Not much else on the slate today. A little bit of it.
I have one play that I love. Lock it in now. Malik Willis, anytime touchdown, +230. Super athlete. If you're telling me that I'm going to get some read option with Derrick Henry in the backfield with him, he's going to get one. He's going to break one off. Malik Willis rushing, whatever his rushing prop is, hammer it. Because the books don't know how to price it, and you'll probably cash out by halftime. if it's one thing I know about Malik Willis, he's a dynamic special athlete. And if their offensive coordinator has a brain, he's going to use that skill set to his advantage. If you're going to give me 5 to 10 carries of read option with Derrick Henry, he's got to hammer that respectfully. He has to. He has to.
Any thoughts on the Colts Commanders game here? Play anything?
Don't watch it.
Don't watch it. Don't bet on it.
Just
What about we got 2 questions about Giants Seahawks. 2 questions about the Giants versus the Seahawks.
The fuck I want to watch that for?
anything Kenneth Walker, I think you can play. I think Kenneth Walker is a viable DFS start as well.
Yeah, he's looked really impressive. I can't lie. I mean, we knew he was going to be good in the league. It's just, it's just interesting to see this Seattle team perform at a high level right now, given that, Mr. Unlimited is gone. So
I think it's Giants Seahawks goes way under the 44.5.
I like that.
I mean, that's what the Giants have been doing this season, just long drives, trying to just kill out the game, especially in the second half. But other than that, I like the Titans on the money line. I think you just keep fading that steam coming down. Like Sosa said, he thinks Malik gets into the end zone. The Texans are trying to trade Cook, so who knows who's going to be lining up in their wide receiver spot. It looks like, what's his name, Chris Moore is one of their top guys in the wide receiver field. So Davis Mills got a lot to play with today there. We appreciate everyone tapping in. No, we're not going to talk about the Bears versus the Cowgirls, but next Sunday, we're back live, 10 a.m. Like, follow, retweet, sub. We out.
Peace.